Ever wondered who ruled the heavens, seas, and underworld in Roman mythology? Let's unravel the pantheon from Jupiter to Pluto. Stay tuned for an exciting journey through the Roman gods. Jupiter, king of the gods. Jupiter, also known as Iupiter, is the king of the Roman gods and the ruler of the heavens. He governs over thunder, lightning, and storms, with his most iconic weapon being the thunderbolt. Jupiter is the protector of the Roman state, overseeing law, order, and justice. He played a central role in many myths, including his battles against the Titans, and was a symbol of power. His Greek counterpart is Zeus, the supreme god of the Greek pantheon. Jupiter's wisdom and might made him the most revered god in ancient Rome. Neptune, god of the sea. Neptune, brother of Jupiter and Pluto, was the god of the sea and water. Often depicted with his powerful trident, Neptune commanded all aquatic creatures and was feared by sailors and fishermen. He was also associated with horses and was said to have created them, giving him control over both land and sea. Initially, Neptune was a god of fresh water, but his identity evolved to become the Roman equivalent of Poseidon. His domain covered everything from oceans to rivers, lakes, and all bodies of water. Pluto, lord of the underworld. Pluto, also called Dis Pater, was the god of the underworld, ruling over the souls of the dead and all subterranean realms. As the god of wealth, Pluto also presided over precious metals and gems, symbolizing the connection between death and the riches that lay buried beneath the earth. He famously abducted Proserpina, leading to the seasonal cycle of growth and decay as her mother Ceres mourned her absence. Pluto's myth reflects the ancient Romans' views on death and the afterlife, while his Greek counterpart is Hades. Juno, queen of the gods. Juno, sister and wife of Jupiter, was the queen of the gods and the goddess of marriage, childbirth, and family. As protector of women, Juno ensured the well-being of Roman women in both marriage and motherhood. Often depicted with a peacock, Juno's fierce and protective nature made her one of the most powerful deities. Despite her devotion to marriage, she was known for her jealousy, especially in the many affairs Jupiter had. She was also the guardian of the Roman state, overseeing its growth and prosperity. Minerva, goddess of wisdom. Minerva, the daughter of Jupiter, was the goddess of wisdom, arts, and strategic warfare. Revered for her intelligence and creativity, Minerva was a virgin goddess who represented reason and fairness in battle. Her Roman worship emphasized rationality and the protection of the Roman state through intellectual strength. Minerva's association with knowledge and crafts made her the patroness of all artisans and intellectuals. She was part of the Capitoline Triad, alongside Jupiter and Juno, and her Greek counterpart was Athena, known for similar attributes in Greek mythology. Mars, god of war. Mars, son of Jupiter and Juno, was the god of war, violence, and masculinity. Unlike the Greek god Ares, Mars was highly revered in Roman culture as the protector of Rome's military strength and the personification of war. Romans celebrated Mars as a god who brought them victory in battle, and his festivals were central to Roman life. As the father of Romulus and Remus, the legendary founders of Rome, Mars was intricately linked to the city's origins. His presence in Roman life reinforced the importance of strength, power, and military dominance. Venus, goddess of love. Venus was the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and desire. She was the mother of the Trojan hero Aeneas, who later became the ancestor of the Roman people, making Venus an important figure in Rome's legendary founding. Venus was associated with both romantic love and the beauty of nature. Her mythological role emphasized the importance of love in all aspects of life, from relationships to the creation of new generations. Venus's Greek counterpart is Aphrodite, and she was honored in many festivals that celebrated love and fertility. Vesta, goddess of the hearth. Vesta, sister of Jupiter, was the goddess of the hearth, home, and family. In Roman households, Vesta was worshipped as a guardian of domestic life and well-being. The sacred fire of Vesta was kept burning in the Temple of Vesta in Rome by the Vestal Virgins, priestesses who swore to protect the fire and serve the goddess. Vesta's role emphasized the importance of family, warmth, and community, and she was also revered as a symbol of Rome's enduring spirit. Her Greek counterpart is Hestia, who also presided over the hearth and family life. Diana, goddess of the hunt. Diana, twin sister of Apollo, was the goddess of the hunt, the moon, and childbirth. Known for her fierce independence, Diana was often depicted with a bow and arrows, hunting in the wilderness. She was a protector of women and children, as well as animals, and was associated with nature's untamed beauty. Diana's role as the goddess of the moon linked her to the changing of the tides and the rhythms of nature. Her Greek counterpart is Artemis, and like her, Diana was also seen as a virgin goddess, fiercely protecting her autonomy. Apollo, god of the sun and arts. Apollo, son of Jupiter and Latona, was one of the most important gods in both Roman and Greek mythology. He was the god of the sun, music, poetry, healing, and prophecy. Apollo was known for his ability to bring light and clarity, both literally and metaphorically, with his association to the sun. He also governed the arts, especially music, and was a protector of truth and knowledge. Unlike many gods, Apollo retained his Greek name in Roman mythology, and his connection to the sun made him a symbol of enlightenment. Ceres, goddess of agriculture. Ceres, the sister of Jupiter, was the goddess of agriculture, grain, and fertility. Her role as a nurturer was integral to Roman society, as she was believed to ensure the harvest and the fertility of the land. Ceres's mythological tale centers around her daughter Proserpina, whom Pluto abducted, causing Ceres to mourn and bringing about the changing of the seasons. The connection between life and death in her myth highlights the cyclical nature of growth. Her Greek counterpart Demeter held similar responsibilities in the Greek pantheon. Vulcan, god of fire and forge. Vulcan, the god of fire and the forge, was the blacksmith of the gods. He was responsible for crafting weapons, armor, and many of the gods' tools, including Jupiter's thunderbolts. Vulcan was closely associated with both destructive and creative fires, reflecting his dual role in creation and destruction. Known for his skill in metalworking, Vulcan was seen as a craftsman who transformed raw materials into powerful weapons. His Greek counterpart, Hephaestus, shared many of these attributes, with both gods being revered for their craftsmanship and their connection to the element of fire. Bellona, goddess of war. Bellona, a war goddess, was a fierce and formidable figure in Roman mythology. Often depicted as a companion of Mars, Bellona represented the more destructive aspects of war, focusing on the chaos and violence that it brought. She was revered by soldiers and warriors as they prepared for battle, and her presence in Roman culture reinforced the importance of martial prowess and honor. Bellona's myths emphasize her strength and her association with the brutal realities of warfare. In many ways, she complemented Mars, who embodied the strategic and heroic aspects of battle. Aurora, goddess of the dawn. Aurora, the goddess of the dawn, was depicted as driving a chariot across the sky, heralding the arrival of the sun each day. She was said to renew herself each morning and bring light to the world after the darkness of the night. Aurora's Greek counterpart, Eos, shared many of the same attributes and was similarly associated with the coming of dawn and the renewal of the day. Aurora was an essential figure in Roman mythology, symbolizing the cycle of day and night and the perpetual renewal of time. Luna, goddess of the moon. Luna, the goddess of the moon, was often depicted as driving a chariot across the night sky with her silver light illuminating the darkness. As the counterpart to Sol, the sun god, Luna represented the cycles of the moon and the night. Her role was important in both the natural world and the spiritual realm, as she governed over the moon's influence on tides, agriculture, and even human emotions. Luna's Greek counterpart was Selene, and like Selene, she was associated with the mysteries and beauty of the moon, Sol, god of the sun. Sol, the personification of the sun, played an important role in Roman mythology as the god who brought light to the world. Sol was depicted driving his chariot across the sky, much like the Greek god Helios. Over time, Sol's worship grew, especially during the imperial period when emperors associated themselves with Sol to symbolize their divine right to rule. Sol's light was both literal and metaphorical, as it represented knowledge, clarity, and the victory of order over chaos. He was honored in various festivals, particularly for his role in bringing the day. Janus, god of beginnings and transitions. Janus was one of the most unique gods in Roman mythology, known for his dominion over beginnings, gates, and transitions. He is often depicted with two faces, one looking to the past and the other to the future, symbolizing his role in overseeing change and new opportunities. Janus ruled over the passage of time and was invoked at the start of important events. As a guardian of doorways, his presence marked significant moments, such as New Year's Day, where his influence was celebrated. Flora, goddess of flowers and spring. Flora, the goddess of flowers, spring, and renewal, embodied the beauty and vitality of nature. She was a symbol of fertility and the blooming of life during the spring season. Her festival, Floralia, celebrated the blooming of flowers, the rebirth of nature, and the fertility of the earth. The Romans held wild and joyous celebrations in her honor, with games, dancing, and the adorning of homes with flowers. Flora's myths often reflect the cyclical renewal of life and growth after winter's end. Mercury, messenger of the gods. Mercury, the god of commerce, communication, and travel, was also the messenger of the gods in Roman mythology. Known for his speed and wit, Mercury served as a divine intermediary between the gods and humans, delivering messages with his winged sandals and caduceus. He was also a protector of merchants, thieves, and travelers. In addition to his role in communication, Mercury guided the souls of the dead to the underworld, and his Greek counterpart, Hermes, shared many of the same attributes and duties. Fascinated by Roman mythology? Dive deeper into these deities and their tales. Like, share, and subscribe for more mythological insights.